research points out that our mind and body are connected, and many of my co-speakers have already brought out that connection very beautifully. And just excuse me, I'll be reading out, I'm not used to doing this kind of speeches, but I'll be just reading from there a little bit. So, just as our chemistry and biology of our body affects our thoughts and feelings, our thoughts and feelings affect the way our body heals and recovers from illnesses. And fortunately, conversations about mental health have taken center stage because of the pandemic. Thanks to the pandemic, stigma surrounding mental health is gradually disappearing, and we can talk about mental health concerns in open forums like this, which is very good. WHO figures point out, I just have that down. My name, I come from a very large joint family as a young little girl growing up, and my grandparents, who had a saying, naming Percy, which means patience. And what I'm going to talk today is complete antithesis to what I have, what my name says. When the pandemic arrived, I was faced, after almost 3 decades of working, with unemployment. I was just sitting at home, staring, doing nothing, useless. Prior to the pandemic, I've been working extensively with schools, supporting them to create inclusive spaces, focusing on stress-free learning environments for young children. And when the schools locked down, I had no business talking about mental health and stress-free learning when everyone was working on pins and needles. And then, when it all started, I was kind of relaxed. In a way, I said, yes, this is a time for me to catch up on my hobbies and spend time with my family. I went around, preaching to everybody. It's such a nice opportunity for us to take care of our mental health, because we had kind of neglected it, and then I was staring at uncertainty. Panic gripped me. I did not know what was to come. It was as if I was walking through a dark alley, not knowing what was, ahead. Sometimes I was gripped with just that intense fear, not knowing. There was a very, churning, deep, feeling in my stomach that just I couldn't explain. Sometimes it felt as if there was some pesky creature sitting on my back, not letting me go, despite knowing that I just dislike it. So it began attacking me. It became so intense. And I just kind of got into my own shell, not knowing what to do, where to turn, because everybody around was, in the more or less sailing in the same boat. And that's when I realized that, I had to take charge. It was like a very, it was almost 24 months, more than 24 months that I was going through this, intense anxiety. And then, it felt as if, just give me a minute, I'll just scroll down. So it felt as if, as Ravi just mentioned, it felt as if I was in an alien land, caught up in a squall, wanting to scream. There was nobody in sight, nobody to kind of reach out to. It was as if I was sailing in a deep ocean, and I had to keep sailing, but there was no one who I could reach out. It was exhausting, tiring. It came as it started in gales, and the gales soon turned to storm and a hurricane, which I just couldn't get out of. And that to me sums up what happens when a person goes through anxiety. Sometimes we do not know what it is that we are experiencing. We do not kind of understand that this is a real cause of concern, and especially when it comes to people like us, mental health professionals. It is sometimes you see when a person is going through anxiety issues, you feel as if it's calm on top. Most of it, you don't see that on their face, and that is what happened to me. And being a mental health professional, I was expected to be calm. You can't afford. It's just not possible for you to fall sick or fall mentally sick, right? Mentally ill. and it's not just, you are not entitled to that. So that's something that was also kind of at some level playing on my mind. Do I talk? Do I reach out? And I have friends in this whole, community. Who do I talk to? And so a cardiologist is supposed, can afford to have a heart attack. But a psychologist, psychiatrist, or psychotherapist cannot have depression. Just cannot. So that is what I was going through. And luckily, I recognized that, this, whatever I learned in my psychology books came alive. Whatever I would rattle off to my clients without experiencing it myself came alive, and I recognized that this is something that is disordered, something's wrong. It's not normal pandemic-related anxiety which cannot continue for this long. I reached out, I started talk to people, my friends, my support systems, and reach out. And that's the message that I would kind of want to give you. First is to recognize that there is something that's not right. Reach out to people, talk to people. Not all will listen, some will listen. And for all of you who are on the other side, listen to people, listen and listen. People will not be, maybe they are dramatizing, it doesn't matter, just listen. Listening without judging is the most important healing task that we can give to another human being, and that's my journey.